Thank you for this opportunity just to share with you people on what we call the Kuching Declaration that was signed on the 16th of September 2012. 16th September, of course, you all know by now, it is called or declared as Malaysia Day, and declared as a public holidays for Malaysia. Now, to us, it is very significant. The signing of this declaration is very significant because it emphasizes the agreement that had been agreed upon by our founding fathers when we formed Malaysia. Now, a lot of people, of course, are saying that we joined Malaysia. And as far as we are concerned, Sabah, Sarawak, formed to join to form Malaysia. And that is very crucial. And the impact of that and the consequence of that, or the what flows from there, is very important. And that's why this declaration, Kuching Declaration, is just to re-emphasize that. And one, even if you look at the first article, we saying that we as leaders of Pakatan Rakyat agree in the spirit of the Malaysian Agreement 1963 to restore autonomy for Sabah and Sarawak. Now that is a very powerful word, autonomy for Sabah and Sarawak. I think an indication there is that the leadership of Pakatan Rakyat are prepared to give back the rights of able to manage ourselves, manage the state on our own, in accordance with the spirit of the founding fathers. Now that is very important as far as we're concerned. Now the second aspect of it, talking about fair representation in increasing national integration between East and West Malaysia, and underlying this whole understanding really is this agreement that we had before on the parliamentary seats, where it has been agreed when we form Malaysia that Sabah and Sarawak should hold 1/3 of the whole total seat in parliament. Now, you all know by withdrawal of Singapore from Malaysia in 1965, that whole portion were given back. The seat allocated for Singapore had been given back to West Malaysia. That changed the whole dynamic of the seats in parliament. Now, with that kind of declaration under Article 2, I think it's very clear that the Pakatan Rakyat's people, leaders, are now again willing to give back that kind of rights to us back in Sabah and Sarawak. And the third article talks about the issue of citizenships, the issue of setting up a royal commission to determine and resolve this issue on illegal immigration, the issue of Sabah and Sarawak people having no identity cards, documents, birth certificate, just because they are being suspicious of them, living in border town, border villages along the Sarawak, Sabah, Kalimantan, Indonesia border. Now that is also something very concrete as far as concerned, because this is one of the very critical issues for us in Sabah and Sarawak. And I'm faced with a lot of this query in my own constituency, that although people are actually born in Sarawak, born after Malaysia Day, yet they don't have documentation with them. And therefore, Article 3, again, is something very dear to us in Sarawak and Sabah. The third article promised of setting up what we call the Land Commission for Sabah and Sarawak to investigate and to resolve issues on native customer rights. And we have also suggested that with this commission, they be given the power to investigate, not investigate, but to issue titles to native people of Sabah and Sarawak that are now fighting against big companies, against the government's policies of issuing thousands and thousands of acres under leases to big companies and leaving them with no other hope for the future. So again, something that is very dear to us in Sabah and Sarawak. And we have Article 5 of talking about, again, in the spirit of our founding fathers, to sign the Malaysian Agreement, where Sabahan and Sarawakians, competent Sabahan and Sarawakians, to head all the federal departments in Sabah and Sarawak. Now, again, this has not been fulfilled by the present government, Barisan Nasional. And with this commitment from Pakatan Rakyat leaders, when we formed the federal government, this must be changed. Sarawakian Sabahans must take that role in that kind of situation. It's not that Sabahans and Sarawakians are not competent. We have a lot of people qualified. I don't need to name names, but everyone knows what Dato' Idris Jala, for example, is doing, and many others who are able to prove that they can do something for the nation. And therefore, we believe that there are a lot of other individuals who are competent, who are qualified to take over leadership or the top post in federal department in Sabah and Sarawak. Coming to the 6th article, talking very specific about the giving of or the increasing of royalty of petroleum and gas related royalty to petroleum producing states like Sabah, Sarawak, Terengganu, and Kelantan, for example. So Sarawak falls into that category, and we can really look forward to this kind of excess fund that can be used to develop the state, knowing that Sabah and Sarawak are perhaps the poorest states in Malaysia, the state that had been left lagging behind really many years in terms of infrastructure development in the whole Malaysia. And therefore, we look forward to this because we've been informed that that increment could amount to between 10 to 12 billion per year. And it's a great asset and a great source of wealth that we can use to develop the states. And for example, Sarawak this year budget is only 4 billion. So we have 6, 7, 8 billion in excess per year. And you can imagine that this whole excess of fund in our hand can do a lot to develop the state for the next generation. Now, of course, Article 7 again confirmed that we would like to bring Sabah and Sarawak on par in terms of infrastructure development with West Malaysia. Now, this is something what we have been craving for, with what Sabah and Sarawakians have been hoping for. Now, with the signing of this declaration, we are saying we are serious. We are very serious with our commitment, and we're not just talking about it. In fact, we have put this in our buku jingga. It is in our buku jingga, but it is very generally phrased. But here, we make it really in Article 1, 2 to 7, and we sign a declaration. And I'm very glad as a leader, chief of PKR in Sarawak, we would like to again thank our leaders at the national level, Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, Dato' Sri Hadi Awang, and Suralim Kitsiang in agreeing to this very symbolic act. Not only symbolic, but again, as we've said, it is an agreement. It is a declaration signed on papers. And with that, we have, I'm really confident that when Pakatan Rakyat takes over the federal government, that this whole thing will bring that great change for Sabah and Sarawak. That's how I look at it.